No longer.
It says it's live streaming now.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everybody, and I hope everybody had an amazing holiday, a wonderful Christmas and Hanukkah, everything. So today we are coming here live to talk about our workshop that is coming up in January 28th, 2023, The Intuitive Businesswoman. And as life goes along, there's been some changes. So our wonderful friend Jennifer had some things going on and she will no longer be a part of this workshop. And so we are bringing our wonderful friend Heather, who is going to also add her amazing intuitiveness, her psychic abilities to this amazing workshop. So thank you, Heather, for jumping in there and being a part of this.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun.
And so the intention of this workshop is to set you up so that you can have an amazing 2023 year in your business, in your life, in all areas of your life. And the way we do that is to understand the energy that you are carrying, the energy of your space, the energy of your thoughts and beliefs, and the energy you're putting into your business and everything you do. So I thought we would come on here and just introduce each other and share what we're going to talk about. So Pat McGrath, would you like to share who you are?
Sure. My name is Pat McGrath, and I am a feng shui practitioner, spiritual counselor, and I help people who already have a relationship with their space, they just don't know it, and help them set up their space so that they can feel better about what they're doing in that space. So if it's an office, for instance, help them focus and concentrate and all the things that come up for work, which I think is becoming an issue that the past couple of years has just thrown a monkey wrench into all of our lives. And a lot of people have had to move their office into their home, and that creates its own dynamics. But in general, when we feel good about where we work, we're more productive, and we have a great attitude about making that phone call that we have to make, or helping that client that we have to help. And we feel good about our jobs and that reflects in our lives. So it's the thing about it specifically is that it is so individual and it's kind of hard to talk generalities. That's why I'm kind of stumbling over here over the words. But I do like the phrase, when you claim your space, you claim your life. Because as soon as you move that piece of furniture, it gets a lot of attention. And sometimes there's conversations you have to have around those pieces of furniture that are either working for you on an energetic level or they're not. But it's always a choice for the client to make the changes, but I'm just there to raise awareness to what's actually happening with the energy. And the energy that I deal with their space ends up impacting their businesses and what their work is all about. So I also like to have people have fun with it and feel inspired. So.
And you bring up a good point, Pat, that if we don't feel good, then that energy goes into our business. And sometimes we don't quite understand why we're not feeling good or what triggered us. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's another thing that we will be sharing in this workshop, is helping people understand what your triggers are, whether it's a piece of furniture in your room, or whether it's something somebody said, or it's how somebody acts or treats you. Because we just go as women, and we don't slow down to understand, how do I feel? I really want to say no to this project, but I feel a need to say yes. So there's so many things that are happening. First, just being a woman and everything we have to do, and then being a woman in business. And so I love that we're going to come together and talk about all these things to help make it easier for people to feel good in their everyday business.
And I think that I just want to add, because Pat and I just had a wonderful experience. I own my own business and I've been there for about 4 years. And Pat just came and did some work with us in our office space. And it was really amazing, because a piece that I had always thought that I had loved, when I shifted and moved the piece, and this just plays right into what you're speaking of, I had a totally different energetic reaction to that piece of furniture and realized that it was actually bringing me down. And as soon as we rearranged and shifted that, it was just like this, whew. So things that you don't even realize necessarily are affecting you, you have a wonderful ability to bring forward and bring into your awareness of how it is affecting you and what you can do to shift that. And just shifting my space, in the last, whatever it was, 4 months, has been made a huge difference, in terms of how I feel, how I work with my clients when they're with me in the office. So it's just been, I think it is incredibly powerful, and more powerful than we actually even realize until you start to do it.
Mhm.
It's what's interesting is that clients recognize that. They may not be able to articulate what's going on, but they're coming to you for your expertise, and you want them to feel confident in your expertise. And when you feel good in your space, that just exudes.
Yeah.
And
it relaxes them a little, because everybody's a little anxious about going to any kind of service provider.
Yeah, great point. And so some of the things we're going to be talking about are, we will have you really say goodbye to 2022. Some people will be happy to say goodbye to it, and some people will want to hold on to some parts of it. But we will completely say goodbye to 2022 and then allow you to step into your goals for 2023. And clear away any blocks. Sometimes people don't even, well, first of all, not everybody does goals, right? And anybody love doing goals here? Sometimes. It depends.
They are
But
very
there's a
helpful,
lot that it stirs up, right?
Yeah.
And then Heather's going to take us through a process to go through our beliefs. And do you want to talk more about some self-love?
Yeah, so I'll just introduce myself quick. So I am a psychic energy healer, but I'm also, my first life was as a professional musician. I had injuries. I stopped playing, so I ended up becoming an occupational therapist and a certified hand therapist, which just means I specialize in injuries in the upper extremity. But I bring in my scientific knowledge and my energetic healing to combine, one, to help people kind of live a life in alignment, and whether that's get out of physical pain, emotional pain, discover and bring up limiting beliefs, those kinds of things. So that's kind of how I work with my clients. I've been treating for 24 years now and been in my own business for 4 years. So I really love the idea of this workshop, because it's all about women in business and how we kind of find our space in that business. And one of the things that came up for me along the way is really focusing in and tuning into self-love and what that means for our business, and how we feed ourselves feeds our business ultimately. So I'm going to kind of, and since I'm just jumping in here last minute, I'm still working on exactly how this is going to turn out and what it's going to look like. But it's going to be a lot of bringing up the limiting beliefs that we have inside of ourselves, where we put ourselves in the totem of everything that we have to do in our lives. Like Jackie said, we're spread so thin, we're going, and really bringing in that ability to focus on ourselves, which then expands and grows our business. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and you talk about alignment, which is so important. I think before I learned about ancestral energy or my own personal energy, I didn't realize how out of alignment I was with my goals, with what I really desired, and in my business and everything. And so do you guys want to share a little bit, what's your life like when you're out of alignment? I know for me, when I'm out of alignment, when I used to be more out of alignment, my car would act up because we're all energy, right? I didn't realize how much my own craziness, I call myself crazy sometimes, my inner thoughts, and because we are energy, impacted my car. That doesn't happen anymore. And my computer, right? You know, those people who say, oh, my computer, that's how I used to be. I always used to have computer problems. I don't have that anymore. You guys want to share?
I think for me, a lot of anxiety, being out of alignment, because we're constantly getting barraged every single day, every single hour or whatever, with something new that we have to handle. And if we're out of alignment, one thing can throw us out of alignment, or we don't have time to deal with it, and it affects us all day long, and then we don't even see it until things quiet down later at night. And so in some ways the whole day can feel lost.
Yeah. I think for me, it's actually two things predominantly when I'm out of alignment that come up are, and I see this a lot all the time with a lot of my clients, is the physical symptoms. So you, if you're slightly out of alignment, you have milder things, aches and pains and stuff like that. If you're significantly out of alignment with, your soul's purpose and stuff, you can have even bigger things, diseases, accidents, those kinds of things can really play a huge role. The other thing is also, for every thought and feeling we have, there's that physiological response in our body. So that energetic response to our thoughts and feelings. So when we are stressed, everybody talks about stress, and everybody can say, oh, stress affects you, you hold your stress here or there, but what do you do about it? So when I get out of alignment, I know I can see myself sort of spiral, and I have to pull myself back down, center myself, and ask, where am I out of alignment? Because I'm not following my journey with ease and grace. I'm following my journey, bam, 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 rather than kind of easing and flowing through it like a river does. So I think those are the two areas that you can get overwhelmed and feel chaotic. Whereas if you can align yourself, you can walk through that journey much smoother with much less stress, and then have much fewer symptoms as well.
And I think that what Jackie said before about women have a tendency to be constantly doing for others and giving ourselves away and depleting our own energy for someone else's priorities. And part of what I think is happening now is that we're learning to maybe take care of ourselves a little bit more, so that we can continue doing what we want to do, but it's a choice then.
Yes.
Yeah. And if we're so depleted, well, that depleted energy is going into raising children, growing a business, attracting clients. We're just constantly bringing lack, depletion, and even pushing energy. What you were talking about, Heather, reminded me, sometimes I'm in my head, like, I got to get this, we should do this, instead of getting down in my body and feeling, well, what's really aligned? What will really work? So if we're going to talk about how we are, what kind of life we have when we're out of alignment, when we're in alignment, there's a lot more ease, flow, and abundance. Clients call out of the blue. People just show up, right? If I need a car mechanic, there's somebody right there. I don't have to stress. Money shows up, impact, like you think a thought. And everybody's done this, right? Where you think of somebody and all of a sudden they're calling you. Well,
Yeah.
This is even to the point where you need something before you realize you need it. I remember Pat and I were doing a project, and we had just talked, you had talked, Pat, about asking for a copywriting lawyer, I think, right? You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God, like 2 seconds later, somebody was advertising on Facebook, here's your lawyer. I'm telling you, it's crazy, right, Pat? So do you guys want to each share what is life like when you are in alignment?
Well, one of the things that I think is very interesting that I have felt is that there is a lot of, and I certainly grew up at a different time than you guys grew up in, where women were always helping. They were never really putting themselves first. And it seemed like such a major leap But when you're in alignment, the empowering of that is inherent. It doesn't mean something outside of the body. It's something inside of the body. It's recognizing what is already there.
Yeah.
And so when that happens, it feels really good. And it can feel really good with little things and big things. So for instance, I remember, and this is a crazy memory, but I was at a party at the governor's mansion years ago. And the governor was female. And we are holding our hors d'oeuvres. Something dropped off of my plate onto the floor. She went down to pick it up, and I went, "Oh my God, please, no, don't pick it up." I can pick it up myself. And I thought, what is going on here? And it's not like I mean, she's just a nice person, but she had that female thing of, oh, I got to do this. No, you have to run the state. I can pick this up off the floor. That's just coming to me now. But I was like in such shock, I didn't know what to say.
Yeah. I think also like when you're in alignment, you just feel so much better. You feel that just this inner sense of peace, this inner sense of trust. And again, you just feel more grounded, more centered, and there's just it's just a peaceful feeling when you are in alignment, which is what we all strive for, right? That's the whole point, is to strive for inner peace, outward peace, but we can't have outward peace until that inner peace starts to really flourish more in all of us. And then I think that goes back to self-love, but we don't say self-love in eliminating love for others, right? Because we have to love ourselves first. And again, sounds cliche, in order to have that love and become that beacon of light for other people.
And again, it's filling that cup. Yeah.
I think you just brought up for me the word that I would use, and that is, we become comfortable with our own presence.
Yes.
That's huge.
Yep.
That was huge for me.
And that's such a deep inner feeling. But when you walk around, that inner presence shines through, because there's a confidence that comes in your walk. There's an essence of who you are. And no matter what happens to you, you're not going to waver. Because
people are drawn to that because it uplifts them. And the more people that are finding that space, the more we're just raising our vibration overall,
right.
and helping ourselves and each other.
And attracting from that vibration and that frequency.
Yeah.
And think about all the little girls that you're influencing by this, because they're watching us.
Yeah.
You know, I've noticed in my own family, the teenagers are all of a sudden seeing me differently. And the younger women are seeing me differently. And it's because I'm claiming it, I guess. You know, it's subtle. It's not, a male energy type of thing. It's within who we are as women.
Yeah.
It's very subtle. And I've had the honor to have my mother stay with me this whole week. And as I watch her, she's kind of limited in what she allowed herself to achieve in this lifetime. I had to figure it out, right? We've figured it out. We are making it easier for our clients and for future generations to fully embrace their soul's purpose and not have to live their whole life to get to be 80 years old and still be small. We're helping people. It's about living a human life and embracing your soul's purpose of who you are, and bring that out to the world and allow other people the opportunity to do the same thing. where we love and have compassion for all of us, and there's no judgment.
Yeah.
So anything else you'd like to say? This was a wonderful conversation. I'm so excited for this workshop.
I just think how cool it would be if so many women got on board with this, and how different things would feel in the workspace
Yeah.
or in
Yeah.
business in general.
And starting to shift the pendulum of where we've come as women in terms of and coming back into balance of our energies, right? Our masculine and feminine energies, and bringing that into balance
Yeah.
for both us and for the men in the workspace too. Because
Absolutely.
we have that ability to help them as well.
Mhm.
That would be great. They need it.
We all need it.
Yes,
You
we
know?
do.
We all need to come into alignment in our own energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not about telling what other people should be doing. It's about taking care of our own needs first and feeling worthy that we do matter and that we can ask for our needs and speak very consciously as we support each other and ourselves and bring that part into the world. So thank you, ladies. And again, I've left the link to register for this amazing event, the Intuitive Businesswoman. It's January 28th, 2023. It's a Saturday from 9 to 12:30. There is an online option on Zoom if you are not able to come to us. We're also moving this event to Collinsville. So there's a little changes that are going on with the event. Not in what you will receive. What you will receive will be an amazing experience. You will leave there feeling refreshed, renewed, and ready to create 2023 the way you desire it. So thank you again. If you have any questions, please reach out. We are so excited to bring this to you. Thank you and have a happy New Year's.